everyone, and welcome back to another Growing with God video. Today, we're going to be looking at things leaders should copy from Moses. So, first, one thing that a leader should copy from what Moses did in his time of leadership with the Israelites is to use their leadership to uplift the people below them from their low spiritual state. If we look at Moses, we see that he was always making sure that the Israelites were able to well understand God's plan to take them to a land flowing with milk and honey, as it was put in Leviticus chapter 20, verse 24. And, of course, Moses wasn't leading the Israelites for his own personal benefit, but instead it was to help the Israelites get closer to the man who sent Moses to lead the Israelites in the first place. And I bring this up because I feel that leaders in our time can also implement these strategies as well to bring the people they are leading closer to God. We see in 2 Samuel chapter 23 verse 3 that leaders are supposed to be just and rule in the fear of God, and this is also part of doing that. And how can leaders do this? Well, leaders can do this by being a good example to the people that they are heading and being a good role model, as we are advised in 1 Peter chapter 5 verses 2 and 3 that we should be examples to the flock. So, for example, many leaders we know they're very corrupt, not very good morals, but instead of a leader trying to live like this, they can live righteously and avoid corruption, greed, lust, and other sinful vices like this. And as Jesus Christ said in Matthew chapter 5 verse 16, when people observe people who have good moral values like this, they can glorify God when they see this. But anyway, a second lesson that I feel that world leaders can learn from Moses, or traits that they can copy from Moses, is generally his submissive and humble nature, how he was submissive to God. We see that Moses was generally a very humble person in Numbers chapter 12 verse 3, where it said that he was the meekest man on the earth. And what really showed Moses' humility was his submission to God. For example, when God told Moses that he would be unable to see the promised land because of something he did while he was leading the Israelites, he just accepted this fate, didn't try to force his way in or try to convince God as to why he was making a mistake. He accepted it. And Moses wasn't the only submissive and humble person like this, but Jesus Christ was also a very humble person, as he made it clear in John chapter 14 verse 28 that he subjected himself below his Father. And this wasn't the only place that he said something like this. And Jesus Christ, just like Moses, was faced with a very sad fate as well when he was captured and brutally killed by the Pharisees and the elders. But he accepted this. He didn't try to go around it. He just took this fate upon himself and accepted it. And even when he was praying to be freed from dying in Matthew chapter 26 verse 39, he still accepted that it was still his Father's discretion to decide whether he'd be free or not, and was willing to accept, once again, whatever God had in store for him. And because of Christ's humble nature, we are advised to copy this exact example of humility in Matthew chapter 11 verses 28 to 30, where it says, "Come unto me, all ye that labor and are heavy laden, and I will give you rest. Take my yoke upon you, and learn of me, for I am meek and lowly in heart, and ye shall find rest unto your souls. For my yoke is easy, and my burden is light." So, leaders can copy this example of Christ and Moses as well by subjecting themselves to whatever God tells them through the Bible. And also, humility means remembering the laws of God anytime they are to pass a law or make a decision on behalf of the people, and help sustaining the people below them as well, like caring for their needs, making sure the poor are still in a good place in society, making sure that people aren't unjustly treated and so on, things like this. And the reason why it is important for leaders to lead like this is because it is only when leaders lead like Moses did that they will have God's backing, as we see in Psalms chapter 34 verse 17, where it says that God delivers the righteous from their troubles. So when the leaders are in trouble, depicted by Luke chapter 21 verses 25 to 26, when the sea and the waves will be roaring at them, representing forces such as people or Satan who will be against them, God will be able to protect you by making you make wise decisions. As we see, God did this for King Solomon by giving him wisdom in 1 Kings chapter 3. So when leaders decide to adopt these positive traits from righteous leaders like Moses, then they will have success in their leadership. But anyway, I think I can stop here on discussing things that any kind of leader should learn and copy from Moses. If you have enjoyed this video, I'll greatly appreciate it if you hit those like and subscribe buttons down below, and also to hit that notification bell so you know when we come out with a new Growing with God video. Have a great day, and we'll see you in the next one.